How's it going, everyone? You joined me again at Barbara Motorsports Park here in Alabama, and behind me I have a super cool stunt bike. This is a 2009 ZX-6 and it's heavily modified, so let's check it out. So here is the bike and here's its rider, Ricky.
What's going on?
What's up?
What's up, guys?
So Ricky, you got to tell me a little bit about this motorcycle. There's some crazy stuff going on here. So first of all, when did you get it and what do you use it for?
I actually got this. This is my teammate Ian Gaines. He brought me out here. He's actually doing the stunt show here, but he's taking me under his wing, and he actually brought me out. And we got this bike. He actually gave me this bike at a really decent price, and actually helped me build it and come together. A lot of the stuff. This is a Impact Tech cage here.
Okay, so this is kind of like a slider basically, but a really extreme slider.
And also you put your foot here, and also adjust here, and so you're able to move here. Slide around.
So that kind of helps you stand up for doing wheelies and everything?
Yes.
Okay. And I also notice on the back here, is that to keep you from looping out, or what is this?
Yeah, this is what they call it. It's a 12 bar, but it's basically, so you can come back and you can scrape, and it also protects your sub cage along with, the rest of the back of the bike here as well. So and it makes pretty cool sparks as well. So when you come back and you get a good, it fully just scrapes everywhere. So
another thing that I noticed immediately when I first started looking at this bike was this, and I didn't know what it was for until I was watching you riding for a little bit, and then I saw that you were sitting there. So is that pretty typical on a stunt bike?
Yes. I mean, this is actually a really old tank. It's what I say old. It's not old. It's Graves tank. They're actually the original guys that started building these tanks, and so it's not finished yet. This bike is still being thrown together, kinda. But you hop up in the tank, and it helps you sit there and kind of control, and has a nice loose feel to it.
And then I noticed too, you've got these bars on the side, so I'm guessing that's the same thing as back here, just to protect your plastics, the motor, everything.
Yes. I recommend anytime that you go out and you're gonna try to clutch up a wheelie or anything, I highly recommend getting a cage, for the simple fact of, say, for whatever reason I'm having a bad day, my brakes go out, my brakes get hot, and they don't work anymore. So the bike goes down. Boom. Now the bike's on the ground. What am I gonna do? Right? Well, that's what these cages do. They protect the bike and keep it from damaging the fairings, because we all know fairings can get expensive and they're easy to break. So that's one way that you can protect them, is by the cage itself.
Man, so this bike is pretty much just indestructible. The fact that you can just lay it on its side and whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Well, that's the point of it. I mean, if you want to go out there and stunt a bike and it's doesn't have the cage set up on, I mean, you loop it one time, you're done. You're done for the week, month, depending on your financial situation.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm sure it can get expensive.
Yes.
So if somebody was trying to get into stunt riding and they just wanted an inexpensive, everyday bike that's easy to find on the used market to get into stunt riding, what would you recommend as a good first stunt bike?
It just depends on how big and how far you want to go with it. A lot of the guys nowadays are starting off on the Groms, which way back when, they didn't have Groms. They didn't even have the setups that we have now. I think the Groms are a great way to start. Super easy, not so far and not so heavy of a fall to hit the ground.
Right.
Like it's simple step off. There's little things. The negative to it, you don't have the power.
Yeah.
But there's things you can do. You can upsize your sprockets. You can make your sprockets bigger, smaller, things like that. So you're gonna lose top end. It's not gonna be able to go as fast. But I mean, as far as the torque goes, you clutch up and it's there.
And so I know you said that this is a work in progress and that there's still some stuff waiting to get done. So I would imagine probably the tank is still on the list of things that you want to do, or are you keeping this tank?
No, this tank is staying. What I am going to do is I have an HT Moto, which is actually in the trailer. We put down some HT Moto, which is a thick pad.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of covers and you know, and it doesn't look as rough and ugly.
And then something else major that we haven't mentioned yet for a stunt bike is the fact that you have 2 brake levers. So talk us through this.
Okay, so like I said, this is an actual show bike slash stunt bike. So what we do is, this is your clutch here, and we clutch. So you clutch up like regular, and then you have a front brake like regular.
Right.
And the only difference is a back brake. So
Yeah.
And so if you notice, we have a hole in the seat here. Okay, and then also this is a seat here as well. So when we do seat standers, you know, say your feet are here, and then this foot's hanging out, dragging the ground, and the bike's up on the hill.
Right.
So you say, wow, how is this guy not flipping back and killing himself? Right here's the key.
It's the second brake lever. I would imagine that has to make it a lot easier to hold a wheelie than just like a stock setup on a motorcycle.
Yes. Well, I mean, foot brake, you can still do it. I highly recommend putting a handbrake on there, especially if you're going to be bouncing around on the tank, on the back of the seat here. And if you look here, you say, wow, Rick, how do you run a back brake? Well, here we have an NDC. This is a bracket that's specifically made for dual calipers. So this is a 4-piston caliper, and this is a Brembo, which is a really, really fancy setup.
Oh yeah.
Which I still have to run my last cable. I just got lazy, so I didn't do it, but I have it.
I mean, like we said, it's a work in progress.
Yes, and with traveling and steady work as well, it's always it's a hassle sometimes to try to find time to make bike work. Now, a lot of people, this is a setup that you will not see ever. Nobody's done this. A lot of people, some people like it, some people hate it. Well, this is the setup. This Two Brothers exhaust. We were doing a show in Lawton, Oklahoma, and these guys had these things on clearance for $200 a pop. And I would keep looking at it, it's calling my name, and it actually goes to a CBR 1000. I was determined to make it work. So I did some cutting, bending, twisting, biting my nails, smashing my fingers, and I made it work.
Ricky, thanks for walking us through your bike. This is just way cool, and it's really interesting to see what all you have to do to become a stunt rider and what you have to do to a bike to stunt ride on it. And if people want to see some more of you riding this thing, where can they go to look?
A lot of times my Facebook or Instagram, Ricky Bobby Stunts, IG Ricky Bobby Stunts.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed getting this look at a pretty cool custom build, and we'll see you in the next video.